Hate it or love it, we're forced to grow up quick in the hood that I live in, there ain't no kidding. Love and hate a similar thing, you can hate or love me, there ain't no difference. It got hard, we made it work, I thought about winning, you thought about quitting. Something in my mind told me it weren't time to slide, went back and aborted that mission. Flex got slapped with 7 cause he got caught in the kitchen slipping. I held him down and sent some flowers round his missus when she was tripping, the phone was up. Show man the same love as if the phone was ripping. A lot of man missing as soon as...
Hello guys, thanks for tuning in on another episode of Bam The Petrol Head. And on today's episode, we've got something different for you. We've got an absolutely standard V60 Volvo B6. And it's got 296 brake horsepower and it does to 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds. So obviously this is a hybrid, but it's a non-plug-in hybrid, which means it charges through the petrol. So guys, let's get into this one. I really do like this Volvo. I know it's got a big listing and everyone loves these cars, so I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Okay guys, so obviously this is a Volvo, and Volvos are known for being a bit boring and plain, but you know what, this Volvo is pretty different. The grille, the bumper, the front, you know what I mean, all the bits and bobs they have on it, I really do think they've done a great job with it. It looks a bit aggressive, and I love the spec on this one. The sunroof really makes a massive difference on it. The alloys as well, they're absolutely amazing. The alloys really do shine, and the lights as well. I love the front lights on it and the grille on this car as well. And they've got the diffuser at the back, which is pretty cool, especially it being in the Volvo and it has all these extra bits. So I think if I was actually going to get a Volvo or something like this, I'll definitely go for a higher spec one, because it makes you feel like you're in something more classy, if I get what I mean, rather than the old boring Volvos. This one is definitely not like that. Okay guys, as you can see, the bonnet straps on this are pretty high, but they're actually like this for a reason. The reason for this is it makes it easier to work on the vehicle, like in different type of conditions, and obviously it's a big engine, as you can see, so it leaves you a lot of space to work around with and stuff like that. You've seen this on such cars as like the Mercedes. Most of the AMGs also have the big straps on them to help lift the bonnet up. Okay guys, so right now we're inside the engine bay of the Volvo B6, and this is actually a 2-litre petrol. It's got 4 cylinders, but it's running just under 300 bhp, which I find quite amazing. But obviously most of the cars nowadays are like hybrids or electric, and obviously they're taking the route with this one as well. It's an all-wheel drive hybrid, self-charging, so you don't need to charge it. It charges via the petrol, and I feel like it's pretty cool because it produces quite a lot of power. It does 0 to 60 in just under 6 seconds. In the estate, I feel like that's something special, especially a Volvo. So guys, there's nothing really slow about this car. It's not as fun to drive, but trust me, it has figures and it's not slow. Okay guys, so everybody knows Volvos are really good for safety. They've really been tested for these type of things. And another cool feature they added onto it is the blind spot assist. And what this does is actually alerts you when there's someone in your blind spot or something in your blind spot. I feel this is really good because especially if you're in the city or you've been driving all day, and obviously when the beeps go up, you're gonna hear it, so you're gonna have a look, then you'll see in your blind spot. I feel like this is such a good little feature that they had on their cars. Okay guys, now we're at the back of the Volvo, and I really think that this is where it looks the best. I love the back end of this car. It's absolutely amazing. Another cool point I love what Volvo done is actually have exhaust that do exhaust. They've got the beautiful twin exhaust down there that do the job. You know, and they kind of kept it original. It still reminds me of the old school Volvo, but it's a newer modern version, and I feel like it really does suit, and it looks sleek, stylish and cool. I really do feel like this car is a beautiful modern day Volvo, especially being all-wheel drive. It makes it still fun to drive. Okay guys, so obviously this being an estate, everyone wants to know what's the boot like, and trust me, this boot on these Volvos are good. They've always been good, they've been amazing. Have a look at it. So obviously it just opens up for you, and it's quite a decent size in there. If you look, and you can even got some more room under there, which ain't too bad. So I feel like it's quite good inside here. These Volvos definitely good value for money. Okay guys, so as you can see inside this car, it's not too bad. It's not the worst place to be, but obviously the steering wheel is really chunky. I felt like they could have gone with a better steering wheel because, you know, it looks so classy and neat in here. But it's got a digital dash here, which is pretty cool as well, and it's got a great display, but it is quite difficult. It's not the easiest thing to use. You got Spotify and, you know, other bits and bobs, whatever you like, Wikipedia. It's got quite a lot of stuff on it, but I feel like it's just too much thrown at you. But as I said, this is quite a good spec. So you've got the sunroof, which I think makes a massive difference. Obviously, when the sun's out, you know, summer's going on, you can get the roof out. It's pretty nice in here, so it's not too bad. It's just, for me, the seats are not the best, and obviously the device is not the easiest to use, to be fair. I didn't even have a CD player, so yeah, it's a bit, you know what I mean, on a 21 plate, no CD player, but, you know, it is what it is. It's got different drive modes, obviously. It's got the comfort, eco, and the dynamic. The dynamic high performance actually does make a difference. I know on most cars it doesn't really make much of a difference, but on this one it actually does. So yeah, it's quite good inside here. It's not the worst though. So yeah, like I'm really enjoying the Volvo. Like, it is actually a nice drive. It's just super smooth. It just feels like such a like standard car, if you get what I mean. Like, the seats are nice, but they're not really comforting. They're not really huggy, if you get what I mean. They're really quite stiff. It is like literally such a basic car. It's like they just done everything they need to do and just left it as that. The steering wheel is so ugly, literally. It's just so ugly. I can't believe there's a 21 plate with all this digital dash and all these bits and bobs. They just done the steering wheel so basic. But at the end of the day, it's a Volvo and it's made for getting the job done. So basic is not really a problem, you know, because these things last forever. That's the thing you have to remember, that it's made to last. Like other cars, they have this crazy steering wheels with crazy buttons on it and a mad difficult digital dash. But within 10 years, they will end up breaking down or something goes wrong with them, do you know what I mean? But I can kind of see that Volvo's just went for like, they want it to last, really. You can see all the stuff they put in, nothing too complicated, but it's still classy at the same time. It's nothing too much, but it's not too little. So they kind of did do a good thing with the inside of this car, I do say. But the seats are like a bit stiff, I'll give it that. Definitely. It's not comfy, especially being at a estate. You want it to be huggy, really. Okay, so I've just put it in high performance dynamic mode. Obviously it gives it a bit more of a rev, you know what I mean? It sits more higher on it, but we'll see how this feels. It does feel a bit more beefy straight away. You can feel the difference. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad, definitely. But being a big old lump, like, I would have thought they would have put more oomph in it. Because them old Volvo, especially the V6, it's amazing. I do love that one there. That's a proper classic, if you get what I mean. Hopefully they ain't lost their touches, the subtle touches, because that's what everyone does love about Volvos. It's like they last forever, isn't it? Really smooth though. It's obviously it's a brand new car. It's literally like a couple months old. It's a 21 plate, but at the end of the day, it's so smooth, as in like the gear changes, the whole drive of the car, like, you know. So I kind of get what kind of person would buy this car. If you're not really trying to drive too fast, drive nowhere too fast, this is a great car because it's so smooth on the road. I'll give it that. It may not be the fastest car, it may not be the most comfortable driving, but it is really smooth. Like, even the steering is really light. It's not like too heavy to steer, but it's not too light, so it's kind of in the middle. You don't want it to be too light. It's not too heavy. It definitely does its job, put it like that. This car definitely does its job. It's a lot different than the Audi that we had on the show before, the A4 Vance and the RS6. Obviously that's got so much more power than this, but this is just like basically a brand new petrol vehicle, estate car, Volvo. Everyone loves a Volvo anyway. So, you know, I'm just trying to see what this one gives. Okay, so obviously this one is being petrol, it does drink. I've had it for a few days and it literally does drink, I'll tell you that. It's not cheap to run, I'll tell you that now. But at the end of the day, it's an estate car. I would have thought they would have made it a bit, like, at least if it's going to drink all that petrol, you want a bit more oomph, if you get what I mean, like a bit more of a boot, like, you know. But it is really flat, to be fair, considering how much, you know, it takes. Let me see how many miles per gallon I get, if I can get that up for you guys now, so I can show you how many miles per gallon I've been doing. This thing is so technical, I'm telling you, like, literally, bro. Like, what the fuck is, bloody hell. Like, there's so much going on here. It's 28. Okay guys, thanks for watching today's episode with Bam The Petrol Head. I hope you all enjoyed that. This Volvo here is really something different. I know most Volvos are known for being boring and slow, but there's nothing boring and slow about this one. The styling, the inside and the texture of this vehicle, absolutely crazy. 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds, just under 300 brake horsepower. Volvo's really coming with something different this time. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We got much more coming for you.
The underdogs on top. Can't see my guys as much. The block got hot and they want that drop. The music thing just pop. Just in time cause the spot got hot. Stop that, start that, get that what. Gotta take that risk and collect that guap. Hate it or love it. The underdogs on top. Can't see my guys as much. The block got hot and they want that drop. The music thing just pop. Just in time cause the spot got hot. Stop that, start that, get that what. Gotta take that risk and collect that guap. Hate it or love it. It can get awkward when these girls ask me what do you do.